All right, guys, what's going on? Thank you for your patience. I've been dealing with some technical issues. Now I see that everything is going well. Um, Glad to see good participation in this very good and exclusive event. Happy to see everybody who joined and wants to see what are the strategies available for dentists to achieve the long-term stability and career growth, guys. And we're going to be talking, of course, about the non-immigrant and immigrant options for the dentist. So let me check if everything is good. All right, guys. this is this is the second time I'm starting this event. There were some technical issues, so there you go. There you go. We're here. I was able to get everything done. I had a few things going on today in the morning, and instead of being in the office where I usually do my webinars, my exclusive webinars for you guys, I had to stay at home at my home office, and that's why there was some technical issues. So we're here. We're gonna spend an hour and a half. And we're going to be discussing the main visa types for dentists. Okay, so I assume that everybody who's present here is either a dentist or has some type of profession connected to medicine or dentistry. Okay, so let me guys know which country you are from. Okay, let me know where you're from so I could connect my presentation, my webinar to the particular country or even a particular profession. And if you guys have any specific or a niche profession in the medicine, let me also know. Let me also know, because we have a lot of cases that are from medical field. Okay, from medical field. So let's see. Okay, Amrita from India, Aiswarya from India, Munaf, Canadian citizen, Srinidhi, Canada, Siama, Canada, Sonali, India. So guys, we have a lot of Canada, a lot of India, and I guess those are from Canada. You guys also either from India or a country around. Okay, so no problem. We have a lot of clients from India. Just a big portion of my practice, and actually and Canadians too. You know, Canada and India are represented very well. So dentist, dental surgeon. That's very good. That's very good. So yeah, guys, drop your specific niches in a dentistry, because I know from my own experience that dentistry is not just like people who are, you know, fixing your teeth and putting the fillings. There are a lot of things going on there. So let me know which specific professions you have, so I could connect. All right, so let's start. Let's start, guys. We're not gonna waste our time, because we have a very limited time, and I want to give you a lot of information, a lot of value. I see that Upasana, international dental student in the US from India. Good. So that means that there are a bunch of options available. I see people from YouTube who watch us on YouTube. Also, there are people from Canada, and very good. So yes, and I see, guys, your questions about is EB2NW a good solution. We're gonna discuss this. We're gonna discuss all those options available to you. So the first thing that you will learn is the eligibility requirements. Okay, what exactly we need to prove to the United States Immigration Services in order to get approval for one visa or another. Okay, we will talk about transition between non-immigrant visas and immigrant visas. All right, meaning that if you got, let's say, O1, H1B, L1, or some other kind of visa which is non-immigrant, how you can transition to the green card. Further, The main challenges that my clients and people in the industry face when they file for the green card or non-immigrant visa. We're going to be discussing the timeline, okay? And especially the timeline is going to be important for you guys who are from India, who has Indian citizenship, or those who has different citizenship but were born in India. Okay, and remember guys that the priority dates, they are calculated based on your country of birth, not the country of your current citizenship. Okay, very important to understand. So let's say someone has Canadian citizenship but was originally born in India. For the purpose of immigration laws, that person is an Indian citizen. Okay, so we're going to be discussing that too. And of course, you guys will be able to ask all the questions that you want, and we will get back to that. In the end, some of the questions I will be picking up as I speak, if I see that it makes sense to answer that question. For those of you guys who's going to stay until the end, you will have two gifts from me. Number one, you will know how to get a free evaluation of your case. Okay, I will give you a tool how to know within 2 days if you have a case and if you have a potential in the case. What is potential? To be able to file it within the next 6 months and get an approval. Okay, so that's called free evaluation. And the second gift is the guide that I prepared specially for you guys on the ways how to get the US talent visa. And I call it self-qualification guide, okay? And especially that thing is good after you went through the whole webinar. And on top of the knowledge that you got here, you will use that guide to have a better understanding of available options. Okay, guys, we're gonna spend right now already 1 hour and 20 minutes together. Okay, so your task is to pay attention. Okay, try not to have anything distracting going on around you. I need 1 hour 20 minutes of your time, and I know the time is very important for every one of us, but since we are here, let's commit. Okay, I'm committing my time to you, you committing your time to my knowledge and my expertise for your best interest. Okay, that's in your best interest. So I also encourage you to take notes, okay, because it's going to be a lot and there's no way you can remember all that. So please take a note, take notes either with a pen or pencil, or type it on your other device. Okay, that way you get the most value out of it. Alright guys, many of you know me already, but some of you are fresh to me, my style and my content. So let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Stanislav Shamayev. I'm a licensed immigration attorney in Florida. My location is Miami, and I've been practicing for almost 10 years. Okay, and I have more than 2,500 people, entrepreneurs, talented people, professionals, investors from about 50 countries or more whom I helped to come to the US. Okay, I'm a member of Florida State and Broward County Bar Associations. I'm a member of Florida Courts of Appeals and 11th Federal District Court of Appeals. Okay, and of course I'm a member of AILA. Not that it's important, but you know, I know some of you like, oh, are you a member of AILA? Yes, I am a member of AILA. All right, and also guys, my company has about 100 people working in 10 departments only for one purpose: to get you approved. Okay, to get you approved. And overall success rate for the petitions that we file is about 90% or more. Okay, so out of the 10 petitions that I file, 9 of them get the approval. Okay, and depending on the visa, some visas I get a higher percentage of approval. So what stand us out among other law firms that we have a specialization. Okay? Yes, we do immigration work, but we have narrow niche: the business and investors visas, the talent visas, and the work visas. We don't take family law cases. We don't take deportations, asylums, all this craziness. We don't deal with that. Everybody is trained and ready to get those approvals for this type of visas. All right, let's move on. Let me guys know if you want to learn something that I didn't mention today, because my main task today is to give you the value. And I do have the content and the presentation to deliver to you. But I'm a big believer that through your questions, I can always improve my presentation. Okay, so drop your questions, and I see that some questions are coming up, and I will be able to address those questions within my presentation or at the end. So let's see what are the burning issues you guys have. Yeah, pharmacists, guys. I know we're going to be talking about dentists today, but if you're a pharmacist, if you're a doctor, if you're a researcher, you know that kind of works for you too. Okay, so let's call it a medical field with specific in the dentistry. Okay, I don't see the name. I guess. Oh, Mark. So Mark is a pharmacist. Mark, stay tuned. Everything I'm going to discuss is going to be good for you. And EB2NW is one of the solutions, yes. All right, let's see what else. Yes, Canadian pharmacist. E2 visa holder once in US apply for EB1A. Does that adversely impact E2 upon renewal if EB1A does not approve? Yes, very specific question from Nirmal. Nirmal, yes, if EB1A was not approved, it's probably not going to affect E2. Probably not. All right, Girish, I'm a general dental surgeon from India. I have a master's in public health from US. Very good, very good. I have solution for you, Girish. I do have a solution for you too. All right, guys. So let's start. Let's start with O1 visa. And by the way, guys, because I see Rina is saying I'm general dentist on H1B. Thanks for the info. And Rina, I believe either you said it or that's my guess that you're also from India. And guys, those of you who are from India and here in the US on H1B visa with EB2 approved, I have a solution for you too. How you can get a green card much faster than your priority date for EB2. Okay? And I'm gonna talk that closer to the end of today's webinar. And let me tell you, I have about 20 to 25 clients from India as of right now who are on H1B visas and who got the EB2 approved sometime in the past. So we are doing something special for them so they could get the green cards much faster within months, maybe a few years. Okay, so let's go, guys. Let's do this. Upasana, yes, I see your question. I'm gonna get it done. All right, so guys, O1 visa. And O1 visa is a great way for anyone in the US to come in the world, to come to the US and start the immigration path. Okay, that's a really kind of easy compared to other visas, a thing to do, kind of easier visa to implement. And for those of you who are on H1B and did not get EB2 approved sometime in the past, O1 is the solution for you because you have an employer and you probably have the criteria to get on that. And also for those of you who are in India and Canada, this is a fast option to get in the US. How fast? About 8 months. But let's talk in detail about that. So what O1 visa allows you? Well, of course, come to the US and work there for at least 3 years. All right, 3 years, and you get 1 year extension indefinitely for as long as your employer needs you. Okay, and of course your employer needs you because you're doing a great job. Okay, that's what O1 is about. And for those of you who don't know what O1A is, that's a talent visa, non-immigrant talent visa. Okay, so what are the benefits? Work in the US and travel. Okay, there's no restrictions. You can bring your dependents, your spouse and unmarried children under 21 years old. And also, like I said, 3 years and 1 year increment for extensions. Okay. What else? Different areas, business areas, medical areas, doesn't really matter. Any profession can fall within O1 visa. And it's easy here because we need to meet only 3 criteria which have a loyal treatment from USCIS. Okay, they look at those criteria through the fingers like this. Okay, with the eyes half closed, let's put it this way. And also there's a way how to get from O1 to EB1A. Okay, so a great visa, and even if you don't have the employer, you can become your own employer through opening and registering your own company in the US, and that company will petition you. Okay, so O1 is great, and let me tell you guys, first I'm going to talk about O1, then EB1A, and then I'm going to talk about the criteria. Why? Because criteria for O1 and EB1A are similar or almost the same. Okay, so that's why we're not going to do it separately, we're going to do it together. So those are the benefits, and you want to say, Stanislav, sounds too good, something must be going on. What do you have any negative parts or negative side for O1 visa? And the answer to this question, yes, I do believe that there is one negative side of this visa, and that negative side is that your spouse will not be able to work in the US. Okay, so this is a great visa with one minus, with one disadvantage, and that's the spouse not being able to work. They can open up a company, they can get the dividends, they may go to school, they may sit with the kids, but they cannot work. Okay, so keep that in mind. For many of you, it's not an issue, no problem, I'll make the money. But for some of you, it's like, oh my God, we won't be able to survive. All right, so as long as you get that in your mind, make sure that you put that in your formula. All right, so as to the timing, let me finish with O1. As to the timing, 6 months to prepare the petition and 2 months to get the interview in the embassy. Okay, so total of about 8 months, and of course it's not math, it's not like 100% proof, but about 8. It could be anywhere between 6 to 9 to 10 months, but on average is 8 months. Okay, from the day you started working on your petition. Okay, let me guys see the questions. Final year dental school. I'm looking to apply for EB1. Okay, Mugda, we're going to talk about this, about applying for EB1A. Upasana, how to improve chances of securing H1B after graduating as DDS from Indian citizens. Upasana, H1B is such visa that it's all about lottery. There is no way to improve the chance of your lottery. Okay, that's pure luck. So and of course to be able to apply for lottery, you must have an employer, you must have the proper education, you must be fluent in English, and the company who is doing this for you. Okay, and the chances are the same for everybody. A little higher for those with a master's degree and above, right? Because you guys know for the advanced degrees there are more visas available. Yes, and there is an option to directly apply for B1 visa. Guys, you don't have to have O1 visa or any other non-immigrant visa to be able to apply for EB1A. Okay, so there are only two reasons why you would apply for O1 visa instead of EB1A. Okay, because they're the same criteria. So reason number one, you want to come to the States faster. Okay, especially if you're from India, because as we will talk in the future today, there are priority dates for the immigrant visas. So instead of waiting for those years, you can come on O1, even if you have a case for EB1A. Okay, and same for other countries. The EB1A for other countries other than India, China, Mexico, Philippines, it has no line, it has no queue. Okay, the priority dates are current. So from the day of starting the case, other countries will be able to get to the US with a green card in about 18 months. Okay, but it's still twice as much as 8 months for O1 visa. So reason number one, you want to come faster. Reason number two, you don't have case for EB1A. Okay, just because O1 is here and EB1 is here by the criteria, by the evidentiary base. Okay, so those are the only two reasons. I've never met a single person who wanted to apply for O1 visa, and guys, I filed probably around, definitely over 100 cases for O1, and 99% of them got approved. Okay, so we have a lot of clients with O1 visas, and none of them wanted to get O1 visa to come work in the US temporary and then leave. Okay, it's just and maybe those who wanted to do it like that quickly changed their mind after they came to the US. Okay, so of course it could be a third reason. I want to come and work and then leave back to my country, but that doesn't really happen in real life. Okay, once you're here and you realize the potential, the salaries, the quality of life, the medicine, the education, the schools for your kids, everything, the safety, the good government, you're like, no, I'm not leaving. Okay, so you guys get ready for that. Okay, so let's see what else. Does have to be an advanced degree from US or the one from your home country counts? Mugda is asking. Mugda, look, it depends. If you're talking about EB1A, you don't have to have the advanced degree for EB1A, but because we're talking about a medical field, I guess that you must have it, okay? It could be from anywhere in the world. It could be from anywhere. So it doesn't matter if you got it from your own country. All right, so let's guys talk about EB1A, and then we're gonna speak about the criteria for both O1 and EB1A. So I'm not gonna spend much time explaining to you what is EB1A visa and what's the green card, okay? Once you get approval for EB1A, it means you got a green card. Okay, yes, there is a process of how to get it after the approval, but basically once you have that approval, you all set to get your 10-year green card, and in 5 years after you get your green card, you will be able to file for US citizenship. The beautiful blue passport. Okay, I have it right here. Maybe later I'll show it to you. It's in the safe in my home office. Of course, there is expedited processing, 15 days, but only for underlying petition. Guys, many of you, for whatever reason, think that if you expedite your case, you expedite it on all stages. It's not so. You expedite it only for the purpose of I-140, the petition to deem you a talented person. Everything else after it, adjustment of status if you are in the US, or the process through the embassy, those things you cannot expedite, okay? With rare exceptions for embassy processing, consular processing, when your arrival to the US is in a national interest, okay? It's called national interest exception. It's possible. Let's say there's some research going on in the US, you're a dentist who understands this research, and like this university or this lab is like, oh my God, we cannot start with this guy, without this guy, okay? So the file request to the embassy, like, we need to expedite. This is very important for for the US, for the government, for the people. Okay, and then it's possible. Again, nothing crazy is going to happen, but it's going to be faster. Okay, and guys, one approval for EB1A for one family member is going to bring all your family to the US. Who is your family? You, your spouse, and your children under 21. So let's say you have 2 kids and a spouse. So one EB1A gets 4 green cards. Okay? All right, let's move on. All right, so the criteria, the requirements. Let's start with that. And let me remind you guys that in order for us to get either O1 approved or EB1A, we need the minimum of 3 criteria. Okay? 3 criteria is enough, but because I've done hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of these cases, I have to tell you that I want 5 criteria for O1 and 6 criteria for EB1A. Okay? Why? Because it's very subjective. If the officer deems 1 or 2 criteria that we did not satisfy, we still have more left. Okay? Just for that purpose. And this is just a good, balanced approach to these type of petitions. So we are going to be covering 8 criteria. 8 criteria available to dentists and other medical professions. And some of you is going to say, Stanislav, but I know that EB1 is 10 criteria, not 8. And you're correct. EB1 is actually 10, but the 9th and the 10th criteria, they are for the art. Okay? Because we are in the category of science, and dentistry and medicine is science, that means that we have only 8 criteria available. Okay, so that's why we're going to be covering that. All right, so criterion number 1, awards. Okay, awards. And because we have a very specific topic today, I'm going to be covering the alternatives that are available for your professions, guys. And the classic award is if you participate in some type of competition in your field. Let's say the best dentist in India, and I'm making things up, guys. I'm making things up, okay? The best innovative approach in dentistry in Canada, okay? Or medical approach for that matter. So whatever awards are going on in your country that are nationally recognized or internationally recognized are falling within the first criteria. Okay, and you gotta get the prize. Could be the first place, the second place, the third place, the Grand Prix, whatever. Okay, as long as you get one of those prizes, it's gonna be good. How many awards do we need? At least one. At least one. The more the better. Okay, there is no limit to the upwards. There's only limit to the bottom. Okay. Stanislav, I got my award 7 years ago. Is it going to be still good for the purpose of EB1A or O1A visa? Absolutely, guys. Absolutely, it's going to be good as long as you are continuing to developing yourself in the same industry. Okay? And I would assume many of you are practicing or about to start practicing. So all their awards and all their achievements, all the recognitions, they all come in as long as you're still in the field. Okay? And very important, guys, put that down. Put that down. That's very important. There is an alternative. Let me give you 2 alternatives for the awards. Number 1, the government or private grants. Okay? If you got a grant to do the research, to develop your innovation, to develop the technology, to teach the technology or innovation, or do something in your field from the government or from the private organization, that's gonna be an award. And the second alternative to the award is, and I know some of you is going to be like, oh my God, I already have a couple of words, and that is speaking at the conferences. And your speech, whatever you delivered, is getting published. Okay? So two components, guys, two sub-criteria. Speaking at the conference in your field and getting published after that conference. Okay? If it's a really good and famous, maybe the biggest conference in your field, and it's really hard to get there to speak as a speaker, that in itself, even without the publication, could also be an award. Okay? But the classic way, you deliver the speech at the conference and you're getting published after that. Okay? And I know some of you like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Many of you. So that's the awards. Let me guys see what's going on with the questions so we could move on. Ashish, hi, I'm a prosthodontist from India. Okay. If I do residency program in prosthetic dentistry in the US, will it increase my chances to get a green card? Thank you. Ashish, as long as you satisfy the criteria of one visa or another, okay? Just by itself, the residency program is not going to give you anything for any type of visa. Maybe it's going to give you more credibility for the purpose of EB2NIW. Okay? But in itself, it has no effect. What does have the effect is the criteria. Okay? That's why we're covering each criteria separately so you guys could see, and let me tell you the secret, guys, before we even move on. As long as you have 3 criteria already at this time, it's possible to get 3 more. Okay? So basically, if you have 3 for the purpose of EB1A, we can start your case for EB1A. If you have 2, we can start for O1A. All right? So listen attentively. Try to pick up where you have your achievement and recognition. And if you... I hope I'm still... Let me guys know if you can see and hear me. Let me guys know if you can still see and hear me, because I had something popping up on my screen. Yes, good. Okay, sorry about that. So your main task right now, to try to see if you got 2 or 3 criteria. Once you have that, and I'll explain how to do free evaluation for you. I guarantee, I give you 99% that we will be able to get your case done. Okay? All right, so let's see other questions. Dental hygienist also included in this criteria. Of course, beta. It's not about the profession. Let me rephrase it. It's less about the profession. It's more about the criteria. Okay? If you're a talented hygienist, okay, and you have awards and you have publications and you're working in a good company, and we're going to cover all this, we will be able to get you in. Okay? So same thing, guys. Understand the criteria. Okay, Manuela from LinkedIn says, please can you help me on how to get a visa to work in the US as a medical laboratory scientist with my family from, and I guess there's a country, Emanuela from LinkedIn. Absolutely. Just listen to the criteria, guys. Again, a lab scientist sounds like a green card to me. Okay? Any type of scientist sounds like green card to me. Okay? And I guarantee you guys, almost all of you have at least 3 criteria. Maybe some of you only 2. So let's move on. How many citations from publications are needed? Mugdan, no citations needed. Okay? The fact of the publications is enough. Okay? And we'll talk about in a minute. Can the award and publishing be in the US dental school, or does it have to be as a dentist after graduating? It could be in the school, as long as that award is nationally recognized. Okay, so we're talking about national recognition rather than which part of your career you got the award from. And publishing is no problem even when you're in school. Publishing is not a problem. Okay, beta. If I come with the F1 visa, then I do a dental hygienist. Will I be able to get a green card? Of course, of course. Okay, Nigeria. Yes. Okay. Yes, I see Emanuela from Nigeria. Guys, we have a lot of clients from Nigeria, and those who scientists, engineers, IT, we get them the green cards. Okay, let's move on. Media coverage about you, your achievements, or your profession. Okay, your work, your particular work. What kind of media do we need? Two options here. Number one, major national media or professional media. What's the difference? The national major media are the newspapers, news outlets, TV, radio that has national coverage and is recognized as such. If it's and guys, we don't have newspapers anymore, or maybe very limited. We only have websites, okay? So a good way, and it's not the guarantee, but it's a good way to start in determining whether we have a national outlet, national media, is to look how many people visit that website on a monthly basis. And I want to see, and guys, put this down, write it down, at least 15% of the overall population of that country visiting the website of this newspaper. Okay? And I guess India is not gonna be good for this formula, because there's a lot of people in India, and I know that you guys have those like republics, those federal states within India, and they're all different culturally, by language. So India kind of stands out from this formula, but everybody else, Europe, Africa, Nigeria, you guys have what, like 180 million right now probably. Canada has what, like 30 million probably. So we're looking at the 15% of the population reading that newspaper online. Okay, like I said, it's not the only one, but it's a good way to start. All right. The professional media is completely different. We do not care how many people will read it, even if it's one person. Okay, it doesn't really matter. What does matter is the audience, who are the readers of this newspaper, and they must be professionals. So let's say there's a magazine, online magazine in Canada that's specifically for medical field, or maybe for dentists, okay? And they published material about you. So that's gonna be good, okay? So these are two types of media. And of course, TV, radio also comes in. And if it's a written media, those are websites, I want to see three other things in the article about you. Number one, title. Okay, I want to see the title. Usually not a problem. Number two, the date when this article was published. Sometimes, sometimes I see the articles with no date, or like a date which is not full, like November 2022. I want to see the date also. And number three, that's the biggest problem, the name of the author, of the journalist. That happens a lot of time when everything else is good, but there is no author. Or it says editor, or editor, whatever. The newspaper without the name, it's not gonna work. Okay, so make sure that there's an author in those articles that are about you and your work. Stanislav, how many articles, those TV programs or radio shows do I need to satisfy this criteria? For the purpose of O1 visa, it's 3 to 4, so 3, 4. For the purpose of EB1A, 4 to 5, okay? Stanislav, I do not have any articles and I have no idea how to get those articles out. How do I deal with this? Do not worry, guys. We do work with the PR agencies across the world who help our clients to satisfy these particular criteria. Okay? So if you don't have media about you, or if you don't have published articles, the scientific articles, those two criteria will be taken care of. Okay? And they're going to be real. They're going to be real newspapers, real journalists, real material. So no fake. Okay? So you guys understand me correctly. They're going to be real articles published in real newspapers with all the truth in them. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about when I say that if you have at least 3 criteria, there are ways to improve on the rest of the criteria. So that's one of them. Okay, so let's move on. Published articles, scientific or academic publications. Okay? And guys, I know that the law says that they could be published in a major media outlets or professional magazines. Okay? It doesn't work in the real life. Okay? And I know a lot of you have published materials in some newspapers or magazines or journals, professional journals, but that's not what the immigration officer is looking for. They're looking for real scientific and or academic articles in indexed magazines or journals, in scientific basically media. So again, this one is not a problem either, because we have vendors across the world for each country who can help to expedite this process. Okay, as long as you have the materials, of course. They're not gonna make things up, and you guys have the materials, okay? Don't tell me you don't. If you're in the profession, there is no way you don't have something, you know, interesting to for the purpose of academic writing, okay? Because you're practicing, you see things every day, you apply new techniques. So there are a lot of things to write about, okay? And there are people who are gonna help you. So how many articles? For the purpose of O1, 2, 3 is okay. For the purpose of EB1, 3 to 4, okay? All right, let's move on. Number 4, leading or critical role in organization with distinguished reputation. What does it mean, an organization with distinguished reputation? Basically, that's a company, organization, association, federation, whatever Asian, and it's not about, Asia or Europe, just federation, association, though that Asian, that ends in Asian, if you worked in there, and if that Asian, whatever that is, has recognition in the field, if other professionals recognize this Asian organization, association, federation as distinguished, and how they do recognize it? Well, there are awards, there is press about this brand or company, grants from the government, thank you letters from companies, famous clients, famous vendors, and things like that. Okay? Of course, the size matters, but it's not critical. There could be a small company, nobody knows about it, but people from the field do recognize it. Okay? So size is important, but not critical. Also, how long this company existed. If it existed for 10 years, it's good. If it existed for 1 year, it's possible, but less likely. Okay? So the combination of all those factors is something that I'm looking for. Not a single one is important. Not single one of them is important, but the combination of them. Okay? So if you lack maybe half of what I've said, but there is the other half, that should be good. And what's the difference between leading and critical role? Critical role when you do an important function in the company. Let's say you're just a dentist and you're working in a clinic in your city, in a private clinic. you're probably playing the critical role for this organization because you treat patients, right? You make them healthy. You bring them money. So this is the critical role. But if you also have people under your control whom you direct, you also may be playing a leading role. So leading is the one who leads. Critical role is for one who is playing an important function. Sometimes it could be both. Sometimes it could be a hybrid. Okay? Both separately or both together. Okay? How do we prove it? A letter from this organization. Okay? A letter from that organization or that company, whatever that Asian. How many companies do I want? I want 2 for the purpose of EB1A. I want 1 for the purpose of O1. Okay? And the more the better. The more the better. Stanislav, I didn't work in-house for this company, but I worked as a contractor. Is it going to be working? Yes. Yes. Guys, it doesn't matter your legal relationship with the organization. What matters, what you've done for them. Okay? And also, for some of you, the consulting services for other companies, for other hospitals, for other labs, for other clinics, for the universities, maybe about the new technology, maybe about your own methodology, your technique, that also could be a critical role, right? So if you come to the clinic or hospital or lab or whatever, and you teach professionals in that organization, this is definitely critical role. Okay? All right, let's move on. Judging the work of other professionals. That's the easiest one among everything else, especially for you guys in the medical field. So the classic way is to go to the competition and judge other professionals, but I don't see it too often in the medical field. It happens, but it's not that often. What I see a lot when you guys working in whatever hospital, wherever you work, doing your job, and other doctors, other dentists, or other medical professionals come to you so you could assess their work. The diagnostics, the analysis, second opinion, and things like that. So as long as you get like the X-rays of the of the teeth, whatever, and one guy thinks that they need to do a surgery, but they want a second opinion, and you say no, we can drill it, clean it, put the filling back, and save the tooth. Okay, that's your second opinion. That's your assessment of the work of other professional. That's judging. Okay, that's judging. So I'm sure 99% of you have that. Okay, all doctors have it. Almost all doctors, unless, I don't know, maybe you're working in a really small place and nobody's there, okay? But everybody else doing the second opinion of the work of others. And by the way, guys, I have a personal conversation for you, my dear dentist. Just a few weeks ago, I went to the dentist. I had the problem with my gum. Okay, so let me entertain you a little bit. Let's make a pause here. We have a few minutes. So I went to this guy and I said, hey, I had my gum swollen. Can you take a look? He takes a look. He takes the X-ray and he says, you're good. There is no problem. Okay, nothing serious there. And I said, well, there's something cooking. And he goes, okay, let's do the 3D X-ray or whatever you guys call it. So I go to this room, they do that thing all around my head, and then the doctor comes in and he's like older guy, Dr. Kaplan, here in Sunrise in Florida, and he opens up that X-ray, and the 3D, he can go and cut it and enlarge it and things like that, and I'm just waiting, and he goes, holy shit. Guys, please don't do this. Don't do this to your patients, okay? This is not nice. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, okay? Please don't do this. Be nice about it. So whatever he found there, like infection, He explained it to me, but the beginning was not great. Okay, because I believe you gotta be more gentle with your patients. Okay, so it's a remark from Stanislav. All right, so let's move on to the how many judging the work of others. By the way, guys, peer reviewing of the scientific publications of others is also judging the work of others. Okay, if you approached by other people and say, hey, I want to publish this article, can you review it? Can you peer review it for the purpose of publishing? That's judging the work of others. And also, if you're on committees, selecting people, selecting articles, selecting people to speak, selecting someone who's going to do something in the profession, selecting speakers for the conference, that's also the judging the work of others. Okay, so this is very expensive. It expanded. This criterion is very expensive. Next, so 2 judging for the purpose of EB1A, 1 for the purpose of O1. And by the way, guys, of course, when I tell you how many I need for the purpose of this visa or another, it doesn't mean that I need all of that I'm saying. Okay, because remember, 5 criteria for O1 and 6 for EB1A. So pick and choose which ones are going to be for you in your petition. Okay, of course, I'm going to give you a free evaluation. I'm going to do it for you, but do it in your head first. Contribution in the industry. Also, it's a very rare criterion in EB1A field because it's very hard to prove. But for the medical field, it pops up very often. Okay? So what exactly that means? That means that you did something in the industry that's innovative, so it's new, okay? And that something is important, significant for the industry, all right? What could be the examples? Okay, the courses, teaching other medical specialists, patents, methodologies, approaches, speaking at the conferences, your books, the publications with a lot of citations, your technologies, and things like that. Okay? A lot of you, even the tools, guys, even the tools, if you invented some tool, I don't know. I went to this other dentist a couple of weeks ago. She had to do something on the side of my tooth, and she put some metal, I don't know how to call it, like a holder, and she screwed it, and it kind of separated my teeth. I still have a hole, guys. I need a consultation from me, not the hole, but there's a gap between my teeth. Are they going back? I'm not sure, because it's been a few weeks, and there's still maybe she did it too much, you know. But I guess there is a better tool to do the same thing. So maybe one of you is using that tool, and that could be contribution in the field. Okay, I'm just giving you all my pains, guys, with my teeth, because you have the qualification. Okay, associations. Actually, is association. How many contributions? 1 is good. If you have 1, good. Anything above that, very good. Associations. There must be a charter, bylaws that say we accept people for outstanding achievements or for contribution in the profession. Okay, something along those lines. Not everybody could become a member, or there are organizations that have regular membership and then higher memberships. Okay, so we need to have that language in the charter or bylaws, and those who make decisions to accept you, they must be experts in the field. Okay, so 2 criteria need to be satisfied in the associations. And a lot of you guys, a part of the whatever dental medical associations, or you're licensed by associations, and many of those licensing associations do qualify for what I told you. Okay, so a lot of times medical professionals satisfy associations even without knowing it. Okay, 1 association is good. And commercial success. So your salary is higher, at least 30%, 30% than other professionals in your geographical location. Guys, geographical location, not in the country, not in the US, not in Zimbabwe, in your city, okay? And there is always a government statistic about that, or many times there is a government statistic. Of course, we need to show that you pay taxes, okay? So paying taxes is very important. Okay, so my recipe for EB1A, critical leading role, commercial success, publications, media, judging the work of others, and contribution in the field. Okay, and that's the, and don't get me wrong, of course there could be different combinations, but that's the recipe that I told you. It's like an average petition, let's put it this way. Okay, so you judged two competitions, or you did the second opinion, or whatever. You have two judging. You have 4 or 5 articles about you, and those will be created while we're working on the case. You have publications, okay? You have commercial success, critical role, and you did something for the industry, or you have association, or maybe you have awards, okay? So that's enough. That's enough to get approval. And O1 is 5 of those, okay? And make your, like, do the puzzle, you know? And there are different ways you can get that puzzle together. All right, let's take a look what you guys get to say. And actually I have a question side, so let me see what you guys putting in the question bubble. I'm DDS from University of Toronto, Shruti says, and Canadian citizen. My original nationality is Indian. Okay. I'm working as an associate dentist in Canada. Which visa should I apply to work in USA? So Shruti, a couple options, O1, H1B, EB1A, are the 3 most available options for you. I'm not sure if M1, J1 probably, maybe there's an option there for J1 visa, and also TN visa. I think I'm not sure if the associate dentist is a part of the TN visa, but look into that. Okay. Okay, I'm DDS. Okay, that's the same question. Beta, I already answered that question. Okay, those I already addressed. So let's go back to the chat. Okay, when referring to peer reviewing, Mugda is asking, do we need to provide a peer review certificate or as proof for the EB1 application, or is submitting the journal homepage, site emails, and similar documents sufficient? Yes, Mugda, either or, and every time it's different, because I filed hundreds of those petitions with this type of paperwork, and each journal, each magazine, or each association that requires those things, they provide different type of evidence. Okay, some of them give the certification, some of them provide the actual review that you've done with the stamp and all the signatures. Some provide like the emails, and so it depends what you have. So whatever you have, I'm gonna use. No problem. Also, do you help process patents, and what are the fees? Unfortunately, no. My specialty is this. So for patents, you need to get a patent attorney, and the patent attorneys, they also have niche qualifications for chemistry, software, math, whatever that is. Okay, so Google your exact direction and look for patent attorneys. They actually have a different license to do this. Rina, for commercial success, how high the income should be above the average? 30% or more. 30. Okay? I want to see 50% or more, if I'm honest with you, if I'm completely honest, but 30% or more is already when I can make a good argument. Now, guys, I think it's a good time to talk about Indian-born people, regardless if you're on H1B or not, but more if you're on H1B in the US or you're planning to get one. And if you have EB2 approved and you're on H1B, and I know some of you don't like this comparison, but it's true. You guys like slaves on a boat, right? And and we know it's true. Okay, so you cannot get off that boat. You're not free to do this because you're stuck with your H1B, and the priority date for EB2 are through the roof. Right now they're about 12 years, so this is crazy. No one in a sound mind is gonna volunteer to go for 12 years, but some of you just have to because you didn't know any other way out. But if you guys go with me and my team and we go for the next 6 months and get you prepared for the EB1A approval, and we get you approved, and trust me, I don't take cases that I don't see how I'm gonna get approval, okay? I'm not that type of attorney who's gonna take your money and just do whatever. No, guys. No, I've never been, and I never will, okay? I will take on the case if I believe in it. And once we get you approved for EB1A, I will be able to substitute your priority date from EB1, from EB2 to EB1A. For example, let's just pick a name. Let's just pick a name. Aiswarya is on H1B as a dentist working in New York. And she got approved for EB2 in 2020, March 2020. Okay, that's her priority date for EB2. So she needs to wait till 2032 if she's lucky and nothing changes to get her green card. Okay, yes, she can extend H1B. Yes, her spouse on H4 can get a work permit, but there is no green card. Okay, and you're stuck. So now we start working on your case July 1st. December 1st, we file your case. Well, let's say January 1st, we file your case. 6 months. And your priority, and we get you approved. So your EB1A priority date, January 1st, 2025, can be substituted to March 2020, as if your EB1A was approved in March 2020. And because the priority date for Indians for EB1A is, I believe, April 2022 as of today, April 2022, we can file for adjustment of status and within 6-9 months get a green card. Now the question is, which way is better, to wait for 2032 and be in unknown, or get your green card in 2025? Okay. And guys, this was a rhetorical question. Okay, of course, we all know the answers. All right. So all of you Indians on H1B with EB2 approved, once we get you approved for EB1A, we're gonna get you the green card really fast comparing to the priority date of EB2. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the questions and let's move on to EB2. EB2 and IW. Okay, Mugda, how long is the O1 route, the processing time? 8 months, Mugda, 8 months from the time you started working on your case. Okay. All right, guys. Expert letters or recommendation letters. How many do we need? I need 15. 15 expert opinion letters from people in your field or organizations or associations, all those Asians, okay? Who can be an expert? Someone who has enough experience, education, and projects to be able to assess your professional work, okay? Because we know how hard it is to get sometimes this many expert opinion letters, within my company, we created the program NEO. It's called NEO program. There is no analog in the world, guys. That's the only, we're the only company in the whole universe who is doing this for you, who's doing this for our clients. So the way it works, once you become our client, we look for the match of the same profession within other current clients in the company. And because at any given moment we have about 250 clients working on the case at the same time, we could find those people who will become independent experts who will give you up to 4 letters. And trust me, guys, those letters you will not be able to find yourself for free. Never. Okay? Why? Because those people don't know you, and they also talented people. So they're experts. So their opinion is going to play a huge role in your case. And up to 4 letters like this, it's a killer. Okay? It's a killer. Since I implemented this program more than a year ago, our RFEs, request for evidence, right? You can get an RFE after the petition if the officer disagrees with something in the petition or asks for more paperwork. Our RFEs dropped from 15% to 11%. And this is huge. Huge. And you say, oh, 4%. No, guys. 4% is a lot. Okay? And that's because of a NEO program. So that's one of the coolest features in our company. Okay, so we're not gonna spend too much time here. All right, so a few cases, guys, a few cases for your consideration. EB1A visa for neurologist and manual therapist Sergey D. Okay, so this is the guy in the medical field. He's from Russia, and he has his own clinic. He teaching his courses in his clinic for the doctors. Just a good, very good doctor. There's nothing special about him. He was a good doctor. He's still a good doctor, and we improved his case, and we got him approved about 6 months ago. Okay, and mind you, guys, you do not have to have a license to practice medicine in the US to get any of those visas that we are discussing today. Okay, very important, because, oh my God, Stanislav, I don't have the license to practice. How I'm going to get those visas? Don't worry, guys. We know the way. Okay, we know the way how to get around that, and all those approvals is the proof of that. All right, Svetlana S. Sports pharmacology. All right, she's basically working. She was working with the Russian national team to help the athletes to get the proper medicine for them. Okay, the supplements, the medicine, the programs, and things like that. And also Margarita, oncologist. Also, guys, all these people. I guess you can read the description of the case on the screen, right? And I don't know why entrepreneur Vladimir is here. We have a lot of medical cases. My point is, as long as you are a good professional, it doesn't matter if you're dentist, if you're oncologist, if you're neurosurgeon, we have a bunch of those. If you're pharmacist, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're a good professional, you will get a green card. Okay? And this guy actually, the Vladimir, he's in the medical field. Okay, so lab research equipment. Okay, so it's connected to the medical stuff. All right, guys, let's go to EB29W. For many of you, if you're from India, you can kind of disregard this one, okay, until we get to the last part of today's presentation. EB2 is not your way, okay? So EB1A and O1s are the way to go. But for everybody else, let's cover this with maybe less details, because I guess this visa is easier to understand. So we need education, bachelor's and 5 years of experience in the field, or master's degree, or exceptional ability. For the purpose of medical field, exceptional ability, I don't see how that's gonna be done, how that could be done. Okay, because I mean you gotta have education to be able to practice. Okay, and number two, you must bring something to the US to help to resolve some problem, and the resolution of this problem is a national interest, national importance of the US government. Okay, maybe sounds a little complicated, but let me guys give you examples so you can understand better. And that's the real case. That's the real case from dentistry for EB2NIW. So again, personal story. I hope you guys not tired of those. I think they're kind of funny. So a couple years ago, I went to the dentist for the teeth whitening. Okay, to whiten my teeth. I like to drink a lot of tea and coffee. So you guys know what it means. You guys dentists. So I need to clean my teeth, and they like, okay, we need to have the form. We need to get the form of your teeth. So here is a piece of clay. Put it in your mouth and bite on it. Okay. Oh, I'm like, okay, well, that's the procedure. So this is disgusting piece of whatever clay, whatever you guys call it. It's cold. It's in your mouth. It's very unpleasant, and they take it out and they put whatever something in it. They have the form, and that you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So it turned out that this guy who came to my complex immigration planning is like, listen, my thing, I'm a dentist, but my thing, I do the digital form of the mouth. Okay, it's like I was chewing on the clay. He's like, clay is like 20th century. We do it digitally now. So not only it's fast, it's not disgusting. It's actually kind of pleasant, and it's forever. It's it's for a long time. You don't need to do it twice or 3 times a year or whatever, right? So, and he explained that he's teaching that to other dentists. So his project, his endeavor is actually teaching the US dentist how to implement the digitalization of the mouth. Okay, and that's EB2NIW. Why? Because it resolves a problem. It's fast. It's contemporary. It's technology that helps the patients to go through this process, and of course, it's the health of the nation, right? So it is important to the U.S. government to implementing those new technologies, and trust me, guys, those immigration officers who are assessing your petitions, they go to the dentist also. Okay, so they know what's going on, and of course they can resonate what's going on. All right, so that's what basically EB2NIW, right? So your education, and you bringing something to the US, and for the purpose of EB2NIW, we cannot say we're going to be practicing it, right? We don't have license, don't forget, right? But it's going to be either teaching of other professionals, other dentists, or implementing technologies. That's the EB2NIW for dentist and medical field. Okay, just a recent case, Sebastian Merler. You guys can watch his review on my YouTube, on my English YouTube. He is a neurosurgeon, but his project was to compliance for drugs, to bring them fast to the consumers. Okay, so he's in compliance, medical compliance for the drugs, for the new drugs, of course. So that was his project, helping US companies to fast track the issuance of the new drugs to the consumers. Okay, awesome case, guys, awesome case. Well, please watch it on YouTube. I mean, this is just super good. All right, so let's start wrapping up. I have the gifts for you guys, so get ready. First of all, how to contact me, how to contact my company, my employees. Okay, please take a screenshot of the QR code. That's WhatsApp Messenger, or you can just screenshot it right now, or take your phone and just scan it right now. Go to WhatsApp and use it. That's how you can contact me. Gift number 1, guys, and let's make a deal. Do not postpone it till weekend, till Independence Day, till Christmas. Do it right now, okay? While it's fresh in your mind. one QR code for EB1A01, one QR code for EB29W. And Alex, please drop the links in the chat as well. Alex is the moderator today. Please make sure you drop those links. So maybe for some people it's inconvenient for QR codes. But guys, again, do it now. Okay, very important. Do not postpone it. You can do both. You can do one. You can do the other one. The other one, or both. Okay, no matter. In 2 days, I will get back to you after you fill out the questionnaire, and I will let you know if you have a case, which criteria you satisfy, which you can satisfy, which visa is good for you, and most importantly, if you have a potential. And if you have a potential, I will invite you to the complex immigration planning to build a written strategy of how we're gonna file your case. Okay? Gift number 2, the guide. The guide that I talked to you about in the beginning of the webinar. Okay? Same thing. Scan the QR code and download it. And do it now, because the link is gonna be available maybe for 2 days. Okay? 2 days, then it's gonna be removed. So make sure you download it and you have it on your computer or your phone. So the QR code. And I believe that you also will get an email. So for those of you who stay till the end, you will get an email with the link to that guide. Okay? All right. So let's see what questions you guys have. And also, don't forget to follow me on, most importantly, YouTube. Second, Instagram. Third, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Okay? Make sure you guys follow, because every week, almost every day, something new comes up. Okay? The updates, the cases, the articles. I give you everything I have. Okay? Just to make sure you understand. Okay? Because I want to give back to the community and bring you the value. The goal of my company, guys, is to bring 10,000 of you by the year 2030. We are only 2,500. So 7,500 to go. Okay? This is very high goal, very high. Hard to achieve, but we're working for it. Okay? So someone could be one of those. All right, Sonali is asking for the link for the guide. Alex, see if you get it. Moderator Alex, see if I think we should have a link. Sonali, if we do not, and if we don't get it done before we finish, you'll get an email. Okay, you'll get an email. But let me go back, guys. Screenshot the social media. Okay. And also study it, because there's a lot of materials in the past. So at least screenshot this one, okay? Oh my God. Priscilla, good afternoon. Can you explain to me more about the talent visa? I didn't understand. Oh my God. Guys, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry now. Priscilla, I cannot spend another 40 minutes on talent visa. Let me, okay. I understand, guys, it was very dense. I understand if you hear it for the first time, you're like, Jesus Christ, this is a lot. I get it. That's why you go to my YouTube. I have probably 300 videos with each criterion separately, all together, examples, the review of the cases, the clients talking about working with my team. All this craziness is there, okay? So my main purpose today, guys, is to give you a big picture and basic fundamental understanding of what those visas are, okay? If you just listen to my webinar and you didn't do the free evaluation, right? And the links are in the chat. and the QR code's here. You just wasted an hour and a half of your time. Okay, you just did. All right, it all works in a combination. You listen to my webinar, then you fill out the questionnaire, then I do the analysis. You also use my guide to bounce against it your ideas and your understanding. And then you need to come to the complex immigration planning, guys. There's no other way. You come to the complex immigration planning, and within 2 phases, I build up the real written, big document, strategy of your case. And that strategy then goes to the approval department in my company when you sign a contract, and that's how your case starts. Okay, that's how 6 months, that's what separates you from those 6 months working on your case and getting an approval. Okay, so Priscilla, I guess you need to watch a bit of my YouTube, get my guide, and fill out the questionnaires. Okay, that's the best I can do right now. Guys, why no one is asking about the prices? Stanislav, what are the prices? How much we need to pay for your services? Okay, for the visas. And let me give it to you guys. And like I told you, I'm that attorney that people think doesn't exist, but I exist. Okay, not only that I'm honest, with a very good reputation, with the hundreds upon hundreds of approvals, but also I have a transparent monetary policy. We don't hide the prices. Oh, Sonali, come to my consultation, pay me $500, $1,000, whatever those attorneys say, and then I'll tell you the price. No, I don't believe in this. I believe in trust. I believe in the result. So the prices, let me guys cover this one real quick. The bottom price for O1 and EB2, EB1A and EB2 are 11 and 13,000. Okay, so 11 for O1 and 13 for EB1A or EB2 in IW. Okay, so those are the base prices without government fees and without PR agencies, of course, right? Because there's extra cost to each petition. The government fee, you guys can find them online. It's an open information. And the PR agencies, you have to pay them separately to improve your petition, okay? And if you go with these prices, you need to be ready to put 200 hours into this petition for 5 months, which means 10 hours a week for 5 months, okay? I know that for some of you, your time is more important than money, okay? And we have higher prices for those of you who can spend that 200 hours for something else, okay? So we have higher prices that you guys can hire my company and my team, and you have less involvement, as much as 1 hour a week, okay? We have a package when you can commit only 1 hour a week. But of course, it's more expensive because we put a lot of resources in your petition. All right. So more details on that once you guys start getting through the process of free evaluation, complex immigration planning, and then picking up the package for you, the best package for your finance, for your situation. We're always open and flexible to negotiate. Not negotiate the price, but negotiate the process. Okay, the prices are not negotiable. We never give discounts, with very rare exceptions. Okay, because we know how much work is behind those petitions. All right, guys, thank you very much for all your attention. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Don't forget about the free evaluation and your guide. Let's get that going. Otherwise, follow me on Instagram and YouTube. And remember, guys, your future begins here. Good luck.